We are back. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Watch Your Mouth Reviews. This is your boy James. I am here to give my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. Not gonna happen in this video, but that's all right. We'll live to fight another day. I think I did watch my mouth on my updates video, though. I don't think I sweared at all. So,
No, you
hey,
did not.
yes, I love it. Shout out to Mrs. Best, y'all. She is joining us on this live as she always does every week. We do this on my channel every week. Make sure that you subscribe to her channel. Her link is in my description box. Did you break 500?
I did. I'm at
Yes.
5,000. I'm so sorry that I was off camera, y'all. I just use eye drops. But yes, thank you to everybody who subscribes.
Yes, congratulations to my girl. I am so proud of her breaking that 500 and getting that YouTube partnership, y'all. We are so happy for her. I am building my channel up. It is a hard road, but she is more dedicated than I am. I'm going to get there, y'all. I promise. I am extremely busy, so it's one of those situations.
Good. You busy? That means you're making money. Look at you. You're still fine, and goddamn it, you've got books out, so you're golden.
It's hard, y'all, but I'm gonna get there. Everyone tell a friend, like, comment, subscribe. This is not easy to do. It is really not. So overall, we appreciate anybody who comes and supports us, especially my regulars. I'm missing my Nia Green. We definitely love her. We hope that she drops by and says hi. Also, shout out to Shayna_MCD. She also is another YouTuber. Go subscribe to her channel as well. She is killing it. I love watching her channel, and she does heavily support us as well.
I like her panels. I was looking at her channel. She has panels that I like where they just like discuss.
Yes. Yes, and she definitely is for the community, y'all. I definitely give it to her. So if you guys saw the title, this is Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 8, Episode 13. This was a very interesting episode. It was an interesting episode because there is a lot of things that I felt like gave a lot of validity to a lot of situations that I didn't understand at first. So, and the first one happens to be in the first scene we saw with Mia and Ashley. So Mia was, filling G in on what happened between her and Karen at Aneka's party. And when she did that, she would just say how, she called Karen an old dog and Karen called her a trick. And G was like, well, why would she do that? And Mia was all like, I don't know. And she conveniently left out the part that Karen has alleged her to be with the rapper. And even the producers called her out on that. She goes, so you're not going to tell him that Karen accused you of being with the rapper? She goes, I may have left that detail out. And side note, in today's time, allegedly, because I can't prove this is the same guy, she's with a radio host nowadays. She's engaged to one. So could there be some truth? Maybe Karen just got the title wrong.
I feel like she's probably been doing it. I think that she's been on her way out the door from G. And we know that they filmed those confessionals after the season has wrapped. So
yeah, she's definitely checked out. Yes. So Ashley drops by and, she tells Mia that she used to live in the same apartment building in the penthouse, I believe on the 15th floor. And I was all like, oh, yeah, Ashley, just rub it in. And speaking of Michael, so Mia asked the question we all want to know, when are you getting divorced? And Ashley, in a very subtle statement, said that, it will be by the end of the year, but she's honestly not in any rush because she loves that she can depend on Michael financially. In her childhood, her mom just could not make the monthly bills and they were evicted twice. And Ashley saw her personal items be dumped out on the street. Her grandmother picked her from school one day and she drove home, saw her mama just getting stuff packed up on the street. So Ashley has a lot of trauma when it comes to, being homeless. And that really is a natural fear for her. I think that's a natural fear in everybody. But what I would say to Ashley is you're in a way bigger and almost solidarity situation being on Real Housewives of Potomac and getting a Bravo check. Because I feel like Ashley makes at least a good $500,000 from this show a year. They film every year. And I feel like for Ashley to have this natural fear that she will be homeless, and this is not to mention none of the endorsements that she has. This is not to mention none of the business ventures that she has. So I just feel like I don't really know why she still has this natural fear. Like, what do you think it is, Mrs. Best?
All right. I have slept in shelters with my mom because she was in college when we were growing up. I have been evicted before with my mom after my parents split. My husband, when I met him, was getting evicted, and he said, "Oh no, my mom, she's been evicted basically his whole childhood, homeless or moving around, stuff like that." My mom went through it. I definitely understand, like you said, the fear of losing housing, but woman up, shut the fuck up, get a therapist, and live your life, bitch. Because it's an insult to the women out there. Somebody we know from high school, shout out to Leona, I'll say her name, fuck it. She works multiple jobs in nursing to support her kids and her children. Because if she does not do that, there is nobody else that is going to support her or pay her rent, no matter how much we love her. And that's a thing here in California because it's so expensive. So, you know, I don't Ashley gets on my fucking nerves. There's women that leave men every day. If you're really done with that man, you'll leave. It's really that simple. I do think she has trauma from her, that's traumatizing for a kid to see, especially the way that they evict people with the sheriffs and all of that. But at the same time, it makes me look at your mom. You saying she had help and still fucked up. So maybe you need to question and look at how your mama's finances are or something like that. But as a whole, it's not an excuse to not divorce this man who's made a fool of you. And to me, why do you want to be attached to someone who's allegedly sexually assaulted members of the cast, threatened to sue coworkers? In some ways, he makes your life more difficult. So why are you still attached to the money? Because I can't see Michael Darby just handing money out unless she's handing ass out still. So I call bullshit on most of what Ashley says, and I either get divorced or leave the show because there's nothing else that you do that's interesting. That's
And
all.
I agree with that part. I don't think that she brings anything to the show because she's not talking about this divorce from Michael. She's not talking about the relationship with Michael. The only thing that she has talked about that was outside of this show was the business venture with Giselle. And I feel like I don't even care about that anymore. And it's like I feel like they keep Ashley on because she has solidified this title of always being messy, and I feel like they are always going to need that on the show, which is fine. But at the same time, I can't really, listen to this story, her being attached to this man, and feel like, okay, well, you have made a lot of money. What is really going on? It makes me wonder if it really was what Candace said. You can't afford that house, but you teased her about her mama helping her buy her house. So it's like,
If Ashley could afford that house, she would have bought it on her own. That's why I think the whole situation is bullshit. Go seek help for the shit that you have been able to identify about your own self and your own traumas since we've seen you on this show since season one. She has cried the same fucking story. And I am not trying to make her pain seem less or like it's something that's not substantial, but stop using it as an excuse. We are, what does it say, season 8? For 8 seasons, you have cried about this. Grow from it, take a leap, and try. You took a leap marrying a man old enough to be your grandfather because you wanted to feel secure. So take a leap on yourself to feel secure. Do something. That's just do something. Anything.
I, I agree. So yeah, moving on from there, Aneka and Wendy meet up for lunch to talk about, mending their differences, or at least that's what Aneka thought. So once Wendy got there, they, began talking about all the situation of what happened of their demise. Now, what Aneka did not tell us, and which we learned this episode, was that she began getting those phone calls 3 weeks before she filmed. And it leads me to believe after she said that, she lost a lot of credibility with me because you made it seem like You met this lady. She felt a way about you. Went to her sister and mama, talked about you. Her mama called Lebe to say all this stuff, and that's how this demise happened. So it seems like LeBay knew that you were coming on this show and felt like she was going to go ahead and put a pin in whatever relationship you and Wendy could have formed right away, which is why this situation happened. Now, this is alleged. I cannot prove this, but she lost credibility when she said that this started happening 3 weeks before she even started filming, because that means that you went in here with the intention to bark on LeBay's behalf, if that is the case. Now, where I'm gonna get Wendy together at, Wendy countersues and or it says that my mom denied talking about you, and my sister denied talking about you. And this is where I'm gonna get Wendy. Wendy, your mama did not deny that. Your mama said, "Yeah, I called her because I wanted her to let you know it's hard to keep a friend, but easier to make an enemy." That's what your mama told that lady. So, if we're putting that into context, it's not necessarily a threat, but it is what she's saying that it is. She called her and said those things, and she could not dissect what that was supposed to mean. And I don't think any person hearing that will be able to dissect of what that truly does mean. It just sounds like you means watch my back. That's what you're telling me to do, is watch my back. So going from there, they showed the flashbacks because Wendy told Aneka, "You called me a bitch and you called my mom a witch," which they showed her doing that. So Aneka says that, yes, and I apologize for calling your mom a witch, and I apologize for calling you a bitch. So then Wendy asked her, "What did I do to you personally? What did I do?" And Aneka wanted to go back and pull out, well, it all started with the phone calls. Aneka, that was not Wendy's question. And somebody being a lawyer, you should have said directly, "You, Wendy, have not done anything to me, but introduce yourself to me." And we realized we were Ebo together when we first met. And I thought we would have grown a friendship from there. And if you wanted to throw in the phone calls, you should have acknowledged her first and then brought that up. It seems like you were trying to do a tit for tat. You were trying to make this situation way more and put it back on Wendy's lap, when realistically all of this could have been avoided had you just got to know her for yourself and then formed the conclusion and matched up what LeBay was saying then. That's where you messed up at. So that's the breakdown from me. Mrs. Best, how did you feel listening to that conversation between those two?
Shame on both of you. As someone part of the African community, shame on both of you. Shame. As they say, see, like, what are you doing? You're supposed to, I think, separate from being African, you guys have a platform where it's a bunch of African American women. Housewives of Atlanta did that primarily first on Bravo. And in the earlier seasons, they went off. There were legendary moments, but there wasn't like really tearing each other down and things of that nature. Wendy and why am I forgetting this woman's name right now?
Aneka?
Here's the thing. I don't like Wendy anymore because I feel like I said this to you, I believe, during text when she got her breast and her butt done. I feel like there's a difference between a boost of confidence and then gaining an ego that can be viewed as negative. And Wendy definitely gained ego with that confidence. If you just watch the episodes or this just a couple episodes of the previous season to her getting those titties, she just entirely changed up. And that is something that's likely. Wendy did not go there to make peace. I do agree with Neko when she said that if you wanted to make peace, then instead of saying, "What did I do to you?" you would have, said things to like, "This is what I need from you to move forward. What do you need for me to move forward?" Something along those lines. But Wendy just seemed argumentative and she acts and carries herself like she's some sort of diva. And at the end of the day, if you're going to act like this with every cast member, Wendy, you're going to get to a point where there's no one to film with. And not because of other people, because of you. Wendy seems to be the only person when she has issues with people not willing to go back, hear them out, give them a second chance. And it just appears as if she's like miserable. She also seems to care too much about what people think based on how she handles things with Eddie, speaks for him, all these types of things. And it's annoying. Now, NECA, let me tell you and your half synthetic wig wearing ass something. You are new. You just got here. Why would you attack the one African chick on this cast? If there's anybody else that you should feel you can align with, it should be the one person who shares the same culture and tribe with you. So why would you attack her? In my opinion, you're right. NECA is probably doing Leb's dirty work. I've always thought Lebe was the problem from the very beginning because her name is the only thing that is consistent. So I've thought the whole time the problems are Lebe, Wendy's mom, and NECA, because NECA's doing this. Lebe's name is coming up constantly, and Wendy's mom is making phone calls she shouldn't make. So it's good you didn't talk about it much throughout your recaps, because now that we're getting to the end of it, we see that this has just all been some bullshit. This season has been awful. And they highlighted it around these women's disagreement. And I'm like, separate from that, NECA has to understand once you talk about somebody's mama, their family, their friend, like someone that they love, all bets are off. Okay, I can call you a bitch, I can call you a hoe, I could call you whatever, but I'm not talking about your mama, your kids, your daddy, none of that. You didn't have to call her mama witch on national television if it was so valuable to Nigerian culture, as NECA said.
Yeah,
So
and then all this accusing her of this shrine, like that she's submitting your name to a shrine. Like I
they were
really,
both raised in America. Like, stop.
yes, like it's
Nigeria,
not
in
that.
Nigeria, they don't know what's going on right now.
It's like, come on now. You're being silly. Like, there's no way, like, unless that lady told you out her own mouth, like Wendy said, unless she told you out her own mouth that that's what she did, you're listening to hearsay based on the young lady's experience with this mom because she used to be friends with her daughter.
Hmm.
And I want to know now, why did Lebe and the sister fall out? Wendy or
Exactly.
Neka? I need to
It's,
Wendy. I'm at Wendy. Why did she fall out with Lebe? Because I'm sure you know why. What was it about?
I feel
Because
like Wendy has everything to do with it. And that's why Wendy is behaving how a guilty person behaves. So
mhm.
there's something that Wendy's done that's not right. At the same time, we've known NECA's bullshitting and guilty about some things. But Wendy is behaving like a guilty person does, and Wendy has a reputation of preparing her family. And people have to understand these women both have degrees that require them to think before they react, speak. They're hyper aware of how the rest of us in the audience are viewing them. It's not just lawyers. So that Wendy probably prepped her mama, because the conversation they had, even sitting at the table, was and the other thing that leads me to believe she prepped her mama is, like you said, she forgot her mom did admit to some things. And when you tell them the truth, you don't usually forget what you said prior, because it's the same truth that you're telling, regardless of the situation. So, yeah, I'm over it. They both wasted our time. Um, we don't
They
really know.
wasted our time because this really could have been the sisterhood that could have changed the whole dynamic
Yep.
of the show, adding Candace and Kierna. So for y'all to sit up here and do this and be against each other, you're giving the other green-eyed monsters on the show a chance to prove that there really isn't colorism on this show, which, that's a debate all within itself. But you guys would be changing the narrative to say we could take over this whole show and ice them ladies out and give us what we want. Y'all could have expanded on your culture. We could have had a cash trip to Africa instead of the Dominican Republic. It's just, I just feel like they really disappoint both of them, Wendy and Aneka, both disappointed us to the extent that, damn, y'all could have really made this remarkable this season. And y'all just waste this opportunity to be mad at each other. So I'm not gonna speak on this anymore after this. I told you guys I'm not interested in this beef. I I like Wendy. Aneka, I still will give her a chance because this is only her first season. I didn't like Wendy her first season. So I'm gonna give her, if she comes back next season, I will give her another chance, especially because on her second season, I feel like the Green Eye Monsters are gonna get her next. So, you know, we'll see what happens. But moving on from there, Serenity is graduating from high school, and Giselle tells her, I give you all the necessary tools. I've given you everything you need to be
Why you keep calling
successful.
this girl Serenity? You know her name is Grace.
I don't remember her name. I told you I don't remember. I don't remember these girls' names. I don't. They do not do anything. Anaya, they do not do anything to me that makes me feel like their name should be remembered. They're all beautiful girls. Every single last one of them. They're absolutely stunning. But I don't Serenity, Dixie, and Daffodil over there. I do not remember their names. I'm sorry. So that's what they will be called until I really feel like remembering. So there we
Damn.
go. But she's graduating high school, and it was a beautiful moment. I'm excited for her. Welcome to adulthood. We hope that you prosper and gain all of the success that life has to give to you. Thank you so much, Giselle, for sharing this moment. Moving on. Robin then invites Mia and Aneka out to go shopping because Robin has announced that she is doing the cash trip. Bravo in that call center.
There's no way that the woman who has the most beef and least amount of trust with these old bitches is hosting the cast trip. There's no way that the woman with the least amount of owned property and
You
income
you can say income. Yeah, I was gonna say you can say that too.
hosted this trip. The lady who sells hats is hosting a trip.
Okay. Like every time with the thought of Robin hosting a trip reminded me when she hosted that trip, it was like season 4 when Katie put it out to the blogs that her American Express card declined at the hotel.
The woman with the most highest credit balance is hosting the trip.
I guess.
I know Robin's credit card bills are like just like people who, don't have access to what she has access to. I feel like she just gives them that minimum payment. I just feel like that's how Robin is.
Why would anyone trust Robin's judgment? You know what? The problem is they don't trust her judgment. They know that Bravo backed this. So I just feel like this is crazy. But let's talk about this store situation. So Aneka brings up that she had lunch with Wendy and it did not go well. And everybody was like, "Oh, we knew it wouldn't go well because Wendy is all of this." Something that Robin like Robin, you just admitted that you need to take that weave out after wearing it all season. We don't need to hear from you talking about somebody else's, you know, inkling of being human. We don't need that when you still wearing the same weave you had from the first episode.
She has a point though. Wendy is fucking impossible. Like, and I don't think people like that need to be on the show. If you're gonna have a beef with somebody and then that's just it, the doors closed forever, then you're not meant for reality TV. Now on the regular
I
world, that makes sense, but
I agree with you, but at the same time, no one's ever called my mom a witch in front of me.
mm.
So I
But
and
no,
they
I'm
sure
saying he's done this like outside of NECA. This is just what Wendy
I feel
does.
like the other times were no. I feel like the other times were justifiable. I feel like this is isolated.
Mm.
I feel like this is isolated. I do. And the reason why I said it was isolated, Giselle coming after her husband and telling her she
Mhm.
had plastic surgery to keep him. No, absolutely. That was warranted and she shouldn't speak to her no more because that's stupid to say. Um the first season, like I said, I didn't like her. So first season, if this was Wendy's first season, we went back to that time. I agree with you 100%. Second season, I liked her because I kind of felt like I needed somebody to go after Giselle because she always does this
That's
bullshit.
the only time I liked Wendy though was her second season. I feel like since then it's just
It's kind
impossible.
of been it's a give and take. The shit with Robin, I'm like this because I understood what she was saying. I just felt like the way she handled it and the way Robin got aggressive, I kind of put fault on both of them.
Mm.
But this season, I don't know. I cannot with her being impossible. I understand in this instance because, like I said, on national TV, she handled it better than I would have. Someone calling my mama a witch. Especially because I know how cool my mom is. My mom don't mean no harm to nobody, just don't fuck with her children.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I just kind of feel like no, she's not impossible. That would be hard for me to get past too. So I don't know. But at the end of the day, this coming from Robin is the wrong person. Now I can see if somebody like Candace or Karen said that Wendy's impossible with this situation, I probably would feel the same. But because it's Robin, absolutely not. Because it's Mia, the person who actually assaulted her, absolutely not. Them two can't tell me that she's being impossible when both of y'all have triggered and assaulted her. So
This
I'm not. Yeah, so yeah, I'm not going to be in agreement. But what cracked me up, and I was funny because Color Me Pink, shout out to Color Me Pink, Keisha Irvin on YouTube. She pointed this out, and I had to go back and watch it again. Robin paid $67 for her clothing tab, and the cameras had the nerve to pan on it. And I'm like, y'all are fucked up for this because even the brokest of broke housewife, even Monica Garcia from Salt Lake City, paid $700 for the lady stuff. Now she had to go through a couple of credit cards, though. We saw that, but she still paid for it nonetheless. So the fact that Robin only got it there for $67, we just gonna believe that none of the shit was cute in there, and that's why she did that. But bravo, y'all were fucked up for doing that because that's y'all don't need to do that girl like that. So
Yes, they
the
do. She came on the Watch What Happens Live, lied about all the stuff that was happening with Juan. That's why Robin deserved everything Bravo give to her. She got one thing to do for them. Come on this show and keep it real. And what does she do? She comes on the show, tells all sorts of lies, and protects a man that's out here coaching people who ain't a part of the team. Listen, right. She
I'm
not doing
saying,
her job.
well, like we said, we're already knowing this is Robin's last season. I'm speaking that out to exist. I do not want her coming back. This Robin, yeah, I'm speaking Robin. This is Robin's last season of the show. So moving on from there, the trip to Dominican Republic is here. The ladies are all getting on the flight.
She picked the
Key,
cheapest island to go to.
this is Robin Dixon hosting the trip.
Damn.
I mean, this is Robin Dixon hosting the trip. We hope she paid that American Express bill, the one that Katie Ross said outed her on. Katie was wrong to do that, but at least Katie said, "Hell, we gonna call a spade a spade." So yeah, just like your, she said, just like your declined American Express card, that shit took me out because I was like, "Damn, not you outing her like that." But the ladies are on, the bus, and they were talking. Karen says that Ray comes to the Dominican Republic and stays at the same resort every year, and he's been doing that since they got married. And the first year he did this, she said she called the hotel room, and the maid answered the phone, and she was all taken back. And everybody looking at Karen like, since when does housekeeping answer the phone?
They don't.
Yeah, they don't. Come on, Karen. Come on now. We're not playing these games now. Just say he had a uh-oh and you took it back, allegedly. Because that didn't even sound right. And Kiara kind of got nervous because she said her husband goes there every year too for the golf event. So I'm just like, y'all better watch it. And Mia
Remember
was
Tiger
on.
Woods. That's all
Mhm.
I'm saying. Tiger
And Mia
Woods.
said, "Oh, I know he out here cheating because I'm one of those girls on the golf course." And we was like, mm,
Also,
mm.
there is a show that I recap or used to recap that ended, and the people were from the Dominican Republic, and the women on there were like, "We don't care. We date whoever. We don't care if he's married. We don't care." I'm like, I guess it's a part of the culture. I was like, what the fudge? So I listen. Ain't no reason
Hell,
my husband going to no beautiful islandy paradise. God damn it, I got PTO, or I would take a leave of absence. I'm coming with you.
I was gonna say that's a no. Overseas, absolutely not. Now I can see if you was going to a different state, then yeah, fine, you can go by yourself. I mean, I'm not gonna trip off that. But you
Right.
going over some water and onto some land, absolutely not. I will be right there. Don't be playing with me. So yes,
Absolutely. Yep.
absolutely. So the ladies get to the villa, and Robin, with her old fucking stale ass, sits up there and says, "So, ladies, we have." What was it like? Was it 8 rooms? I believe it was either 6 or 8. I can't remember. But she says that half of us will be sharing, and then there's going to be 4 of us that are going to get our own rooms. So she immediately gives her own room to Ashley, She gives Giselle her own room, and she gives Aneka her own room, leaving Candace, Karen, and also Wendy to share a room, to share their rooms with each other. So Karen was like, oh no, I don't share rooms. Oh no, this is not what we're doing. I'll be getting my own room. Thank you, Robin. And Karen goes over there and finds the lady and tells her, no, I don't play that. We gonna get my own room. Here's my American Express card. Go find me a room. And Robin was like, Karen, are you serious right now? Are you serious? Like, you ain't even got to do all of that. What's wrong with sharing a room, Karen? And Karen's like, Robin, I'm not gonna listen with your slow ass or dumb ass or some. She said some shit that was hilarious, and I was hollering. I was like, damn, you better get her, Karen. Get her, Karen. We ain't even mad at her. So the whole time, the other girls were like, "Okay, look, we'll go ahead and find this room situation." So, Candace and Wendy decide to share a room with each other, which gives Kierna her own room since Karen is not trying to share with anybody. So Ashley comes up to Karen and goes, "Look, Karen, I don't mind sharing a room with Mia. You can have my own room." My my room by yourself. And then she goes, "Are you sure, Ashley?" And she goes, "Yeah." And Robin comes over and goes, "See, that was so nice of Ashley, Karen. She didn't have to do that." Because at this time, the lady told Karen, "We ain't got no vacancies because y'all over here acting the fool, and I don't know what the hell going on around here." But Karen gets her own room at the end of it all. And we're all looking at Karen like, was she doing too much? Was Karen doing too much, Mrs. Best?
No. Here's the thing. When I was 24, 25, I'd share like rooms. We share beds. I did Vegas for New Year's one year with some girlfriends, and we share beds. We didn't care who's drunk. But at 31, I need my own room.
Yes.
And that's just how I feel. I don't know how to explain it. Like vacations are hard to come by for me, so I like to have my own space to just like be stressed, talk to my spouse in private, check in with home. So I'm not mad at that, especially if she was willing to pay for her own room. And she has said at one point, I'll sit on the couch if I have to, but I'm not sharing. So she just wanted her own space. I don't think she did.
I, why do you think Robin has such a problem with Karen disrupting her room plans?
Because Robin's plan was to be petty and she's so fucking dumb. She's a damn dingbat that she doesn't even know how to hide that she's disappointed that her plan for pettiness is not going in the direction it needs to. Listen, the energy that Robin put into those rooms and the care that she put into those rooms, she needs to put that same energy into care, into checking her nigga and checking his phone. Okay? Because ain't no way you got all this energy for these women, but your man's in laundromats coaching people who not part of the team. There's no way. So I can't stand Robin Dixon. I can't. That's why me and Giselle have always had to share. Yes, they have. After y'all done bullied these women and or claiming that you're not going to show up to a trip and then deciding that you're randomly going to show up so you're getting the last pick of the room.
And not to mention, neither one of y'all had men. So, and
Ever.
it was a couples trip. So
Right.
why would y'all not share a room in
Robin
under the
is just
circumstance?
a sour puss. I don't want that. That's why people want her gone. If you're just going to take any opportunity that you have going forward to push people down or to try and make them feel however small you felt, then I don't want it. Two wrongs have never made a right. And at Robin's big age, I don't want to watch that.
I don't either. It was silly to me. So Giselle goes over and checks on Kierna because after Kierna was drinking way too much champagne and had the bubblies. So Giselle goes over and checks on her, and Giselle's gonna make it apparent to fuck with Wendy any chance she get. So she goes, "Well, has anyone else come to check on you?" And I'm looking at my TV. Why? Ain't that what you doing right now? The fuck do you care if somebody comes to check on her? Now, in hindsight, y'all, I'm gonna be fair. Wendy or Candace should have checked on Kierna. I will say that absolutely, if that was their friend, they definitely should have checked on her. But Giselle didn't need to bring her green eyed, big nosed ass over there to go check on her and then make it apparent to say, oh well, let me put this whisper in here. You know, Wendy ain't come over here, girl. You know, Candace ain't
That's
come
a
over
grown
here,
ass
girl.
woman that's sick. What the fuck is checking on her gonna do? I'd send a text or just like go to the room maybe once and be like, yeah, I hope you feel better. Be sure to get the fluids in you and leave it there. Don't
Right.
drink tap, keep fluids, feel better. Because at the end of the day, she put herself in that situation because she got drunk. I'm not about to stop my party because some other bitch don't know how to hold her liquor. And yes, I am that mean, y'all. I don't care. I don't care. You better ask my friends and ask about me. We are adults, we have the right to drink responsibly, or we have the right to get fucked up. It's your choice, your decision. You gonna have to deal with that shit. I'll hold your hair when you vomit a few times, but that's it.
Yeah. So after Giselle leaves the room, she then goes over and we talk with Ashley, Mia, not Karen, Ashley, Mia, Robin, and what we noticed is Giselle brought her a little shave fest. She has a crown and the Grand Dame with the zip code written on the little panel thing that she's Aneka's going to wear around her body. Now, I'm looking at Giselle because it was supposed to be a joke, but the shit wasn't even funny. So, and of course, because Aneka is so green and wants to be liked by these old miserable ass women, she goes for it. So they go and crown her with the ceremony. And Candace was me at this point. I'm looking like, are y'all serious right now? This old goofy shit. Are y'all serious? So Candace walks away because she's like, I don't have time for this. I just don't have time. And they crown Neka with the crown and ask Karen how she feels. And Karen was all like, "That's fine." Like, what the hell was y'all supposed to do? What was this supposed to do? And Nia Green said it best. They care more about the ground down title than Karen does. Absolutely. Because that shit was stupid. Like, who the fuck cares if she is, because she lives in Potomac and owns a home in Potomac. So what? It's like, y'all just. I, See, Karen is better than me because this would make me question my friendship with Giselle at this point. Did you make up with me to actually want to be my friend, or did you make up with me that when I'm at my lowest point with the half the group, you want to join on the bandwagon and try to ice me out? That's what this looks like to me. I could be wrong, and I don't
Giselle
really
made
care.
up with Karen because they are originals. They're on this show for the longest. Uh, I don't think it had anything to do with Karen. I think it had to do with if Giselle at the time didn't make up with Karen, she wouldn't have had too many people that was gonna fuck with her. She always finds a way to make up or get cool with somebody right before everybody is done with her. But yeah, she said they're dry, dingy, and tired. Yeah.
Absolutely,
But
absolutely.
I love when you see someone trying to come for you. I always tell people, don't give them a moment.
No,
Don't.
I'd have
And
just,
Karen
I'd
understood.
have, I see, I would have been Candace. I'd have walked away because I'm not finna sit here and entertain no shit like this. Or I'd have
She
been Wendy, just had that little smirk on
made,
my face, like, what? This is so stupid.
had a whole sash made.
Yes. So that was pretty much the end of the episode. I know you. I know who those of you who watched beginning to the end, those who catch the playback. I'm not going to talk about Candace and Chris's little scene because at the end of the day, I can't dissect what I'm really looking at. I don't know what Candace was mad at. I don't know what Chris was talking about. So I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to expand on it. It is what it is. I don't really care because they do this every now. It's every season.
We get it. You want to have a baby, whatever the fuck. He got kids. I don't care anymore. Like,
Right. It's
get
not. It's
married or
not
don't.
landing. Like this is not landing. Like it's
You
just
want to have
not.
a baby, plan the end of your tour. Like, this tour is going to be ending. Instead, you keep extending the same tour and the same album. Girl, just live out your dreams. If you get pregnant, you get pregnant. If not, you don't. I don't know.
I feel like she's distracting herself so she won't get pregnant because he's not working right now. He's on YouTube like the rest of us, trying to build his channel up. So I just feel like there's something. There's a passive aggressive there. I don't know what it is, but there is definitely a passive aggressive there with Candace and Chris, and that's why I'm not going to talk about it because I can't really determine what the passive aggressive is. Are you like doing these microaggressions because he ain't working right now and doing his own thing, and you bringing the checks in the house? Like I don't know what this is. So I'm not going to speak on it too much. But if they expand on it by the time the reunion's here, then I'll speak on it. But because I didn't know what I was looking at, it was two people yelling at each other, and it was like awkward.
Nobody cares. Yeah.
Yeah, nobody cares. But that was the end of the episode, you guys. We It was an okay episode. This season of Housewives of Potomac was so dry. I can't wait for the fight because I want to see how that pans out. I want to. We're getting so close to it, so we'll see what happens with that. And then, yeah, exactly. But yeah, and I agree. And that's exactly how I feel too. That's why I'm not really gonna speak on it because I feel like she's just trying to distract herself from having them. I don't think Candace wants kids with Chris right now. I think she wants him to be financially stable and making sure he brings the same things to the table that she is. That's my honest opinion.
And
But we're gonna
nothing
move.
with the that's how
No,
it's
absolutely not. Yeah, no, I don't think anything is wrong with that. So, we're gonna go ahead and move it on to Married to Medicine, guys, and then we're gonna go ahead and shut this live off. Thank you guys for tuning in to Real Housewives of Potomac season 8, episode 13. Let me know what your review and thoughts on my comment section. I read all comments, respond to everybody. Thank you so much for being here today, and we'll catch you on the next recap, guys. Bye bye.